Greetings and welcome to part 16 of the AutoCAD 2019 certification. I'm using AutoCAD 2019. However, I don't think they're actually testing for AutoCAD 2019, but that's fine. You can still take whatever it is that they're testing and use this as your training tool. There is not much difference between, I think what they're using right now is AutoCAD 2016, maybe 17. That's what I've seen out there. So it doesn't really matter which year you get as far as your certification. But, well, let's carry on. What I want to show you on this episode is how to insert blocks. That's going to be a question on the test, is inserting a block. What is a block? Well, a block is basically a block of geometry. It may have different lines, curves, angles, and things like that. Different pieces of geometry that have been joined together and grouped together to make one object. Typically, when you're doing like furniture is usually made of blocks that are put together. And I thought that if I showed you how to make a block, that you would understand what a block was, and then you would also understand how to use that block. So on my screen, I am going to create a block, and it can be anything. Let me think. What would be a good block? Yeah. Okay, so this is just one that's on my mind. Well, let's do a window. Yeah, let's do a window. So I am going to do a block. It's going to be a window, a plan view window. Plan view meaning that you're looking down on it from above, like on a floor plan. And of course, there's tons of ways you can do this. I'm going to start with a rectangle, and I'm going to draw a. Oops, that didn't work. Okay, so I'm going to draw a rectangle, and again, we're using the unitless system. It's not inches or meters or anything like that, but I'm going to consider them to be inches. So I am going to make this window, let's see, our x coordinate is going to be 3 feet. So 3, and then I'm going to tab over to the next block, to my y coordinate, and it's going to be, say 3 feet, and how would I do that if that was inches? We'll say 0.45 inches. All right, so here we got a window, or well, it's not finished yet. Let's finish it up. Okay, and of course there's tons of ways you can make windows. I've seen all types. I'm going to pull this out about 0.2, and I've seen all different symbols and whatnot used for windows. 0.10. Let's see, I'm going to find the center. I'm going to stop there at the center, and I'm going to mirror that over so that they're the same size without having to go and try to measure it and all that kind of weird stuff. And let's see, specify first point of mirror line. There we go. And erase source object, no. And let's see, I'm also going to put just a few lines in the center here. I'm going to put one down the center, and then I'm just going to offset that a little bit. Let's see, 0.1 might be good. Yeah, 0.1 is perfect. Oops. It doesn't want to stay. There we go. Okay, so now we have a window. And this, again, is plan view. And what I'm going to do is create a block with it. So I'm going to go to the Insert tab and go to the block definition panel and click on the little pull down arrow, and it's already set for create block. I'm going to name the block. I'm just going to call it a double hung window. All right, and then of course, when you're making blocks, I typically use it this way. I specify my base point on screen, and as far as whether it's an object or not, I also specify that on screen. So I click OK, and it says to specify the insertion base point. Now that's the one thing you have to remember for the test, is that insertion base point, because the question may ask you to place the block, and it may ask you to place the insertion point on a certain location. And I know a lot of people I've seen do the practice tests and everything. What is an insertion point? What is that? Well, this is the insertion point. For this particular window, I'm going to just choose the center of the inside. All right, and I've clicked, and it received that indication, and now I'm going to select the whole object and press enter. So now this window is one whole object, and there is the insertion point. When I click on it, that comes up, and typically that's where you move it and place it and everything else. So that is how you make a block. Now, how do you place a block? Well, real simple. Right up here in the same Insert tab, right over here it says Insert, and whatever blocks you have either imported or created will be in here, and you just click on it and you bring it in and you place it. And as you notice, let me do that again. Look where the cursor holds the block from. It holds it from the insertion point. So that is what an insertion point is. That is a block. That is how you use a block. Now, just for future reference, if you want to use other blocks on your drawings, you can actually go online and download a whole bunch of blocks. Some people spend a lot of time making these very detailed blocks for other people to use, which is pretty cool. I think it's very nice that you do that. But anyway, that's it for this video. Stay tuned for the next video, which will be add and modify text.